Can I collect unemployment compensation while I'm out on workers' comp? Hey guys, it's Jim Aspel. I'm a Connecticut workers' compensation attorney. It's a gorgeous day here in Farmington. I wanted to take a minute to answer a question that we get quite a bit. If you're out on workers' compensation, can you also collect unemployment compensation? And it really kind of depends. If, as a result of your injury, you're totally incapacitated and you're collecting a weekly temporary total check from the workers' compensation insurance company, you are not eligible to collect unemployment compensation benefits in the state of Connecticut. The way I like to look at it is, if you're collecting unemployment, every week you need to represent to the Labor Department that you're ready, willing, and able to work in the state of Connecticut. And in turn for that representation, they in turn pay you an unemployment compensation check. If you're totally disabled by your doctor on a workers' comp injury, then obviously by definition, you're not able to work. So if you think it through that way, you're not entitled to collect unemployment compensation under those circumstances. Now, if you have a late duty release, all right, you have a temporary partial release, you have a lifting restriction or an overhead use restriction or something of that nature, and your employer can't accommodate you, in that instance, technically you do have a work capacity. So you can represent to the Labor Department that you are ready, willing, and able to work. The employer just can't accommodate you, and in that instance, you can collect an unemployment compensation check. Assuming your unemployment check is lower than what your base workers' compensation rate would be, then workers' comp would pay you the differential between what you're getting on unemployment compensation and what you would be getting on temporary partial. So, for example, right now we're in the middle of this pandemic. It's something we see a lot where people are getting unemployment compensation. They can't go back to work, so they get their unemployment check, and then comp pays the differential. So that's a situation where you can be on comp and be collecting unemployment compensation. The third scenario is if you are able, you've been placed at maximum medical improvement and the workers' compensation carrier is sending you a weekly permanent partial disability check, a PPD check. In that instance, that whether or not you get that check is independent of your ability to be able to work. So if you've been released and you have some sort of work capacity, but you are collecting PPD payments from the comp carrier, in that instance, you would also be able to collect unemployment compensation. So to kind of simplify it, the one situation where you cannot collect unemployment compensation while you're out on workers' compensation is if you are totally disabled. And as I mentioned earlier, the way to think about it is if you have any kind of work capacity at all, then technically you're ready, willing, and able to work in the state of Connecticut. Sometimes what happens is people find themselves at the end of their comp case, they've settled their case or something like that, and their job is no longer available to them from their employer where they got hurt. They've gone through this hiatus where they've not been working and they haven't collected unemployment. When you go to apply for unemployment at that time, there's actually a spot on the unemployment compensation application that indicates there's a delay, or there was a delay in you applying for unemployment compensation because you were out on a workers' compensation injury. So there is a mechanism for that to be handled as well. So a lot of information there. If you've got any questions about any of that, I'm happy to talk to you at any time. We're in Farmington, Connecticut, 860-523-8783. My name is Jim Aspel. I'm a board-certified workers' compensation attorney here in Connecticut, and I would be happy to talk to you at any time. Our website address is www.aspellaw.com. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe to the channel. A lot of good free information out there about Connecticut workers' compensation. Have a good day, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks.